So, we can start our journey, let other people join. So, we are studying what we say freedom, happiness, and wisdom. Freedom is the ultimate goal. Happiness is the immediate goal when we find the ultimate happiness in our life within us, and wisdom is the key. So you may recall we started the journey with a natural state. Uttama Sahajavrati. So natural state is what is the highest state of mindfulness. Then we realize that we have to empty the contents of its mind. So when we empty the contents of the mind, then we discover our real nature. Like when a calm water in an ocean reflects the moon, full moon. So it reveals our true nature. So when a person lives in a non-meditative state, they always suffer silently, openly, or otherwise. There is always a suffering. Then we understood there are 5 subjective states of the mind and 5 objective states of the mind. So out of 5 subjective states of the mind, our mind should live in 4th state of the mind to begin the journey, and to complete the journey it should go into the 5th state of the mind. And then we understand last couple of weeks we have understood that what exactly is the practice. So last week, do you remember ASU? Abhyasa, sadhana, and upaya. So, the Master Patanjali says there are 2 elements, practice and dispassion. These are the 2 elements which helps us to succeed in meditation. Now, what exactly is the practice according to Patanjali? Tatra sthito yatano abhyasa. In the next sutra, he says, what is this? Tatra sthito yatano abhyasa. It's a very deeper, very subtle principle. So, with reference to what is not desired and what is desired, I have to accept through the mind. And what is not desired, I have to drop it. So can you think and relate what is not desired with reference to the 5 subjective states of the mind and the 5 objective states of the mind? Are you listening to me? Yes, you are listening to me. At the same time, the mind is distracted. So it is the 3rd subjective state of the mind. It must go. It is not desired. But why it is happening? Question is, why it is happening? Because the home of the intellect is not very well defined and understood. Tatra sthito yatano abhyasa. The real meaning, literal meaning of this sutra is that the mind is holding on to the steadiness. The intellect is holding on the steadiness of the mind. If that is not there, then what will happen? Then we go into meditation and the mind says, I have one wonderful student. So every time we used to start the practice, here in Arizona, I'm not going to tell you the name. So when I used to give the classes, so after the moment I say close your eyes, and after 5 minutes he started snoring and head is down. So I said, what happened to, I was totally relaxed. I was totally absorbed into meditation. You see that? That is the fifth sub-objective state of the mind. We said what? You have to get rid of the 5 objective states of the mind. Then only we can reach to the state of meditation. So how you are relating the 5 objective states of the mind and the 3 states of subjective states of the mind, let us understand in a very casual and easy manner. Where are you sitting? In my home. So body is settled in home. Where the mind is settled, it is settled in calmness. Isn't it? It is settled in awareness. Now, where your intellect is settled, that intellect is constantly moving to the different objects because of the past impressions. So, when body is settled, first level, the mind is settled, second level. So what this master is saying, my intellect means my awareness should be settled in looking at the steadiness of the mind. When that happens, every session of meditation is a great success. How it happens? When the intellect is free from doubt and free from any doubt, there should be a clarity and a conviction. Now, where are you settled? I am settled in my home. So, body is settled in home. Do you see that? Do you understand? Are you picking up? So, when the intellect finds its home in steadiness with awareness of the real self, this is what Patanjali is saying, practice. So, when intellect chooses what is right and good, it leaves what is pleasant, and then that state of the mind is calm. And in that calmness of the mind, the intellect is holding on to the state of steadiness, then we succeed in meditation. So this is the first part. Where we started, what is the practice? We understood Abhyasa. We understood sadhana. Sadhana is what is desired and what is not desired. So I need to accept. I ask my intellect constantly, consciously to accept with clarity, free from doubt. So sadhana element. Second part is upaya. We use different tools to purify the mind, to remove the distractions. And abhyasa is on the top of it. My intellect is holding on. That steadiness within, that becomes the real practice. So what the master is saying, steadiness by dispassion, dispassion by steadiness is abhyasa. You go to the store and you are looking for a thing that you like. You are not looking for other stores where the object of your liking is not found. That is a subconscious dispassion. That yes, you don't care. Okay, that's okay, that is okay. But when this intellect understands that only the real self within me is an object to be liked, to be accepted, to be desired during the practice of meditation, there is no distraction, there is no sleepiness, there is no imagination, and that person finds meditation success. Now let me refer the Gita. Gita in the second chapter, the master says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Prajahati yada kaman. So the Krishna says, my son, he is talking to my friend, he is talking to his friend, when the seeker drops all the desires from the mind and is satisfied in the self by the self. Satisfied in the self by the self. Remember again, satisfied in the self by the self. That is the job of an intellect. You see, you get rid of all the religion, cult, dogma, belief in the journey of meditation. It is nothing like it. So how you are satisfied in the self, by the self. Think of it. How I am happy within me, by me. When the mind is craving for some object for pleasure, then the intellect is unstable. Do you see that? Do you see in our life? When the mind is looking for any object outside, then what happens? You live in one of the 5 objective states of the mind. What we need? We don't need any of these 5 objective states of the mind. That is how we relate. We study only, we get the information, then we say, let us practice meditation, and we do not include these wisdom in the journey of meditation. For example, the first state is wandering mind. Now I get upset with the wandering mind in the practice of meditation. So there what I need, the intellect must remind me that I am looking for the steadiness of the mind that is behind the wandering mind. That is already present. Am I aware of it? If I am aware of it, then the meditation succeeds. So you see, the subtle understanding should continue in the journey of meditation. Oh, body has moved. Maybe a vikshepa. It says the second state of the mind. Second subjective state of the mind, a sense of forgetfulness. I forgot. The intellect returns again and it lives into that steadiness of the mind within during the practice of meditation. Then you do not complain. What do you complain? What complaint you do not make? My mind was wandering. You do not complain when you do not. It's a little typical. I'll take one more session in making you understand. So what happens? The body is one. Body is steady. It helps us to go to dharana according to Patanjali. Dharana means confining the territory of the mind. And the mind is calm. It leads us to what we say meditation. And intellect, that one-pointedness, we are looking at the steadiness of the mind. We are aware of it. Or otherwise, you see that intellect is steady. What does it mean by the intellect is steady? That intellect, you are constantly aware of the mind living within, in spite of the thought pattern enters into the mind, is what Patanjali is saying in this sutra. Are you getting it? So in Gita we say sthit prajna. Sthit means steadiness, prajna means intellect. Sthita prajna. Last point and then we'll go a little deeper. We can say that desire comes, dominance of thought pattern causes the desire in the mind. And there are 5 groups of thoughts. 5 types of thought pattern that we have studied. Praman, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. And when there is a dominance of intellect, not with the thought, when there is a dominance of intellect, what happens? The meditation always succeeds. Then the mind leaves all the desires. So what Gita is saying, Krishna is saying, I am satisfied with this real self by the real self. When I am satisfied with the real self, it means the intellect is there, freedom from the doubt, there is a clarity and conviction that real self is within me. Second, the real self is of the nature of peace and happiness. Hence, intellect says, where you are going, my mind, you need not to go anywhere. It is not fighting. It is not reacting. It is not forcing the mind. Just being aware. Why I am running after penny when there is a billion inside me? So I am satisfied by the real self and satisfied in the real self. This is the first part of what Patanjali says, Abhyasa, practice. So it is not the practice of breathing in the meditation. The intellect is constantly aware when you say Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. So it means the intellect is aware of that peace within. And it is holding on to that peace even while singing and listening. Let us do that practice. Let us do that practice. Close your eyes and we will see that how I will translate today's journey into eyes are closed. Where your intellect is, ask yourself. You see, it will change the entire journey. Your intellect says you are at home, you are attending a virtual session, there is 100% clarity. So when I said close your eyes gently, looking at the body, is intellect with you, prajna with you. I made it very simple explanation. I am using the term intellect. Later on, I will use the term prajna. So, are you aware of the body? Yes. Do you feel the body is comfortable? Yes. You see? And then, are you looking inside the head in the space? Behind that, what is that? Intellect is aware. What it means to be aware? You know it. The mind takes us away, but the intellect is aware. You are looking inside the forehead in the space and become aware of the space inside the forehead. You see, you need not to think even of the body. Because when the intellect is there to support you behind every step, the journey becomes rewarding and beautiful. In these couple of sessions, we are going deeper and deeper and deeper. So now see that upaya, we will use upaya. Nyasa is an upaya. Today I spoke a little so that we can go a little deeper. So now, looking at the breath, awareness of the breath, and start breathing deep, silent and slow, not very deep, so that the mind gets agitated. It finds some comfort in stretching, and you should not be breathing very short breath. That's why we have changed it. Now, breath is your car, nyasa. Your mind is the driver, and highway is the space. So what the intellect is doing? The intellect is aware of all the three at all the time. Without thinking, start moving the mind inside the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips in the space. And the mind is moving from the fingertips to the shoulder when you are exhaling. Whether you do it opposite, it's okay. But easy intellect is constantly aware of the space inside when the breath is going in and coming out. That will make a difference. So in upaya, ASU, upaya, we added Abhyasa. And now you see the sadhana. Sadhana means you are leaving what is not desired. But how do you know? The intellect should know. How the intellect knows? With awareness. That is the key. Now inside the left arm, when you do it inside the left arm, that intellect takes you totally away from the turbulence in the mind, if I say so, the turmoil in the mind. It will remain there. Why? Because of past impressions, the storehouse of memory. But even in the midst of that turbulence, the intellect is supporting us. You see, Abhyasa? That is the key. Deep silence, slow breath is your car, and mind is the driver. So when the mind follows the deep silence, slow breath, they merge together, and still I am aware of that, moving onto the space. And now inside the right leg. Abhyasa. Upaya. Upaya is deep silence, slow breathing. Abhyasa is with awareness the mind is moving inside the right leg. What is the sadhana element is here? Because if the intellect keeps its awareness on the space, you need not to even think what is not desired. You will find such a beautiful state. And now inside the left leg. What effort you need to do to keep that awareness? Don't you see when you are driving the car, it is the intellect that keeps the car in a particular lane. It keeps the speed under its own control. And you are driving at ease. When you are able to maintain awareness and attention, it is a part of the Abhyasa. Because you are already keeping your awareness on the space inside, there is a natural tendency of the mind to leave what is not desired. And now move the mind inside the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. When the breath goes in and when the breath comes out, move the mind from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Now see, sometime even if the body moves, okay, the mind will hijack the meditation. But if the intellect maintains the awareness inside, even if the body moves, there is no worries. And now leave this, do nothing. And now singing and listening the first days. Apply that awareness. I'm deliberately using the intellect to make you understand as we go deeper. So it means what? You are singing and listening, and the intellect is aware, fully living deeper inside, satisfied by self in the self, singing and listening. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Always better to have a mental singing. Why? Sorry. The intellect picks up very fast. 6 times. Meaning is swastir, well-being. So the intellect becomes aware of that state of the well-being, whatever the mind is doing and the body is doing. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 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 What is the essence of it? That is what the intellect is aware of. Well-being, not in me, but in every being on this earth. So how you counter the mind that is returning to its 5 crazy states? Intellect still perceives the well-being there. That becomes Abhyasa. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. 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 Sarvesham swastir. Is intellect aware? Yes. Bhavatu. Singing and listening. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Singing, listening and meaning. Shanti means peace. And I have repeated 100 times, you need not to even think of it. Let the intellect become aware of the infinite space, the good space. That is Sukha, that is Shanti. Sarvesham Shantir. Check. Is intellect aware? Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir 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 Bhavatu. What is that Shanti? That knowledge that this peace is always present, inside and behind, every being on this earth. Can I become aware of it? Let the mind do whatever it wants to do. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. 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 Have you started chanting these mantras the moment you wake up, or you remind in the morning, or before going to the bed, or before starting the work? If yes, the intellect has accepted it. Third line, singing and listening. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Purnam, sense of completeness. Ask your intellect, when you are complete in yourself, when you are complete by yourself, will you ever become lazy, crazy, busy, obsessed? Ask yourself. That is the essence. Singing, listening and meaning. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 Now take the essence. I believe you all have understood, because we have been doing this journey almost uninterrupted. So now see Purnam, completeness. Sense of completeness, there is no doubt about it in you. Then what happens? Maintain that awareness of the Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 Last line. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. You are singing and listening to yourself mentally. That is also the job of an intellect. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Mangalam, a spaciousness. A spaciousness is a moment, is an event, is a moment in life, is a thinking, is working, is doing, is talking, is singing, is doing everything. Behind it, there is an auspiciousness. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 And third time singing, listening, meaning and the applied knowledge. When we live and work in the auspicious moment, it is always supported by the well-being, peace and completeness. Ask your intellect this week. When you feel the sense of incompleteness, there is definitely a peace and happiness and the joy. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. 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 And now can you sing and listen to it mentally by yourself? Om Shanti 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 couple of times. Mentally you are singing, you are listening, you know the meaning and applied wisdom. What is that wisdom? That this peace is always behind, supporting everything, every thought, speech and action. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This Shanti behind should be recognized by an intellect in the field of awareness is behind even my anger. How do you say that? I am only ignorant of this peace. That is why I became angry. What is that meaning? I know peace is there, but I don't recognize. When I don't recognize, then what happens? Anger, reaction, running here and there. You see, the knowledge part is so deep. And now that we have been doing so that the mind turns towards this journey, when you wake up in the morning, imagine you wake up in the morning and the first thing, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Just imagine you are going to sleep and say this mantra. Even if you don't remember, no worries. You should remember well-being. I'm in the state of well-being, so everyone is. I'm in the state of the peace, so everyone is. I'm in the sense of completeness, so everyone is. I'm in the sense of auspiciousness. Is sleep auspiciousness? Behind. If the auspicious is near, there behind the sleep, what will happen? And the same thing. Yeah, just imagine you are talking to me and your intellect is aware of the auspiciousness. How dare the mind can cause anger in the reaction? That is the key. Well-being, peace, completeness, all merges, becomes auspicious. So there is an auspicious moment. Casually walking the mind from the crown of the head to the belly button and dropping either any mantra or simply Om Shanti. So if you are dropping Om Shanti, the intellect recognizes Om is my real nature and it is oozing out peace. While walking the mind from the crown of the head to the belly button, not the reverse. Again return your mind to the crown of the head and drop it to the belly button. What we are looking for, we want that peace, consciousness should descend from the highest consciousness located at the crown of the head down to the belly button, which is the center of action. Then what happens? It spreads into every cell of the body. Why we are doing it? That we are going to take up with clarity and understanding. Beautiful. Now from the crown of the head to the heart, Om Shanti. You know, that drops all the 5 objective states of the mind. It leaves you in the sense of completeness. Your intellect keeps your mind within. Why? Sense of completeness. By the self, in the self. Very subtle principle, but not difficult to understand. And now inside the forehead, from the top of the head to non-verbally. You know, the intellect knows what you want to say, Om Shanti. The journey is very short. The distance from the top of the head to the inside the forehead, at any point. We have 300 points in the forehead. You need not to get obsessed with the center of the eyebrows, etc., etc. Nothing like that. Do nothing. When you are in a state of doing nothing, there is a steadiness inside. You are in a state of doing nothing. Is this what you say, the concluding meditation? No, it's a real beginning of a meditation. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes, inside know your experiences, and bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences and question, if any. How are you, Lara? I could see.
It was good. It was interesting. I got really cold. So I need to make sure that my room is warmer, or that I have, and and then I was like, did I manifest that? Because I was cold when we started, and then I got colder and colder. But it was good. It got really quiet and
Really
just
quiet. Good.
Smooth.
Very
it
smooth.
wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't like lots of stuff coming in. We're just kind of just smooth.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
How are you, David and Jerry?
That was a very, very good meditation. So early on, right at the beginning, when you said to focus on your intellect, for me, my mind went to the intellect is inside me the whole time. So the intellect was inside my body, and every time you would focus on a limb, it would shine light on that certain aspect, the limb or the inside of the forehead from within. So it was very, it did not get outside of my body. My thoughts did not wander at all. So it was great.
That's really, you got it. That is the meaning of Abhyasa by Patanjali. Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, it was quiet. I had the very cold sensation when we ohm from the crown to the stomach, and a lot of tingling. So with the ohm, that brought on the cold and the tingling. And then at the end, I see a lot of light. Sometimes
that's beautiful.
So today at the end, I was seeing a lot of light.
Lot of light. That's beautiful. That's another expression of deeper meditation. Like the Lara, she was feeling cold, whether due to room temperature or otherwise. So we have to keep noticing all these experiences. Beautiful. How are you, Sam? I didn't see your co-worker. I sent her the invitation. Yes, it's okay. You are an IT guy.
I don't know if she would have gotten it by the time
Okay.
she was, I was having trouble with the calendar this morning. Everything was, I think David on Saturday described the speed with which it happened. Before I knew it, we were done. I would say it was very content and thoughtless. I had an image, when you gave the image of the car and the driver, I went for a walk by the water yesterday, and there was this little kid in one of those toy cars driving along. He was probably 2 years old, and I had that image in my head for a lot of the meditation. But other than that, no other thoughts of things going on outside. And then Om Shanti, I always keep seeing a flood of orange and purple coming through.
That's beautiful.
And we're back.
That's beautiful. I'll just explain about this intellect again by example. So how are you, Stephen? It is Terry. Yeah, Terry is there.
I'm good. Meditation for me started, from start to finish was very quiet, very peaceful, very, very content. It was, you started off with us focus on that breath. And when, the first part was, let's do this deep, slow breathing, I never left that. It was every move, every instruction, I never came out of it. I breathed through each of the limbs. I was breathing through from the crown to my tailbone. It was always about the breath. And as I knew I went deeper, there was that moment that I snap in and go, okay, what am I doing? And immediately it was the breath just took me right back to exactly where we were up to. So it was just a very, very, very good meditation.
Beautiful. Do you see that, just to give you an example that how a meditator lives or how a non-meditator lives? I can cite many, many examples. And that is how we understand where the person is. You are looking, say for example, Lara is drinking tea. Show me the flask. Yes, such a beautiful flask. Who says mind? Where the intellect is? Now, if the mind takes over the intellect, then what the mind says? I want it. Now, if the intellect is settled inside, mind has nothing to say. It's pure appreciation of the beauty of the flask. You feel still the sense of completeness. Are you getting it? I'm just explaining by a simple example. So it means that steadiness of the intellect. Krishna, the master, speaks a lot about it. It's the entire chapter. Almost, I would say, the second chapter is based on how the steadiness of the intellect can be achieved. And once that is there, let the mind do anything. Who cares? Why? Steadiness of the intellect will take hold of the mind when the mind will run after what is not desired. Do you see that? Do you see that point? Do you see that point? We normally live our life swayed, carried away by the 5 objective states of the mind. And second principle that we will take up next time, it is the dispassion. So dispassion should take place in the intellect. You see, David, we don't follow any cult, dogma, religion. Perhaps our wrong notions have been eliminated during this journey. We don't talk of religion, dogma, cult, God, follower, nothing else. Pure knowledge and understanding. If you have any question, Terry. Terry might be there. So, any more question? No question? So, that is all. Thank you. Tell your friend and co-worker we are ready. Thank you very much. Be happy.
Terry's talking.
Huh?
Terry was talking.
Terry is talking. Terry, come on. I don't see you. Yeah, but yeah.
I'm here. I don't know. I don't see any of the people except for you. I just see their pictures, but I'm here.
Don't worry. Even if you see me, you are seeing everyone. Come on.
Well, I see the photograph. Yeah. I'm having that thing where I can't hold still, but when you said that intellect was what is steady, that's what I was doing. The intellect was like the parent, and the mind and the body were doing all kinds of things, and the intellect was coming and saying, you can do that all you want, it doesn't affect me.
What a beautiful way.
So,